Hello survivors, and welcome to another video. In today's video, as you can see, we are playing Kitty Survivors Rogues of Catmere. It is early access, it isn't a demo, but let's get straight into it. There is the meta progression. We haven't really done a lot of it yet, so we may not be able to finish the first round or the first stage, but we're going to try the best that we can to do that. So there's equipment. Our current equipment is this over here. We've got 150 damage, fire elemental, effective chance is 24%. It is a fire staff. Fire provides us with burn, which deals damage over time. I'm actually going to go now and create a cold weapon to increase our damage by 30%. So we click on the forge. We're going to put a hilt over there, so we've got this one over there. We use this iron ignet for a bow, and then we wanted it to be water, so we're going to put the water crystal over there. If we used like the fish over there, changes it to a staff and it costs more money, so we can't actually make it. Or if we changed it to this, it becomes an earth bow. So we're going to go with water. Again, everything does change. If we did it like that, it deals less damage. So this one does more damage than the other one. And things like that when you are crafting it. So a tree branch, again, is a staff. But we're going to use the iron ignet for a bow. So we click forge now. There's our bow and what our arrows look like. We are going to equip it. And we're going to go straight into the run because we don't have money for our pet over here to increase his feed, which you buy apples for, 500 per apple, so we need 10 apples to level him up, and that's going to be 1,500 gold to level him up to level 3. And again, meta progression, we don't have any money for that either. So let's get straight into the run. We play with vanilla, who uses air. You press Q and you scream towards the target direction, causing damage and pushing the enemies back. So let's go straight into it. And you can see already our little ass bow is firing in this direction. So very nice to be able to do that. You'll see when the enemies are going to be taking that extra damage, they will have a water symbol on top of their head. Again, there are the different elements that we looked at in the front. Those are going to obviously have different effects, and each ability also has those effects. So as you can see over here, we've got earth, fire and water. We got no rerolls. You gain rerolls every so many levels. The big tuner over here, you get some decent area of effect as well from it, as well as more bubbles. You get 1 extra bubble, 2 extra bubbles, quite a bit of extra area of effect. But I don't know, it's very good for AoE, but not so good because it just doesn't really, I don't feel like it does so much. So this one, based on the number of enemies within range, cornered cat, I don't know if the range of cornered cat is very good. So we're going to try it out. We'll see how well it goes. Our options there were really bad. Normally, if I wasn't recording, I would actually restart the run. Just because I feel like those aren't going to get us very far. But it may be because we are in a bit of a pickle. We'll play a bit more carefully and we'll be in a better spot. Okay, increase enemies pierced by 1, decrease damage by how many you hit, how many in a row. I'm actually going to get in heat, so after 2 minutes, give birth to a kitten that will fight using its umbilical cord. It is really gross and funny at the same time. I mean, a cat using its umbilical cord to fight. Very funny, but like very unique way of getting skills to play, but at the same time really gross as well. So let's see what happens. It could be quite interesting to go from there, but we'll see. You can see the timer in the top right section. There isn't a cursor on the screen, which I do like. It isn't a twin stick game, so we don't need the cursor on the screen, and that also means that you don't have to aim or shoot. You can turn auto aim off and then the cursor comes on, so we can use it then, which is really nice. It's nice that they hide the cursor when you're not using auto aim. I do believe that Nordic Ashes does the same thing now, where they have an auto aim for some weapons, or you can pick which weapons are auto aim and which aren't. And that actually helps us a lot with doing it on the bosses. So we can keep auto aim on. The only thing that I would like to change is if it could possibly get rid of the message at the bottom of the screen for us, so that, you know, we would be able to not have that on the screen after a certain amount of time. You know, maybe after 5 minutes or so it removes that message, but besides for that, everything else, it's a very, very decent roguelite. Now we're going to try our best to get as far as we can, because we haven't really got a lot in meta progression, or, you know, weapon wise, or character wise, or, you know, pet wise, damage wise, and things like that. We can't really say how far we can get and things like that, but we are going to try our best to get as far as possible. Hopefully we can make it past the second boss. It is the one that I have currently, I keep dying on. So we're going to see, hopefully for the video, we can get past the second boss and go from there. Look at my butt. Release a cloud of gas from your butt, dealing a high amount of damage to enemies behind you. We're actually going to take the multi-shot. Multi-shot does give us another projectile, so we are going to wait for that one and hopefully get that, and then go maybe for a crit route or something like that. It also might be better to not have... Oh, what is catnip? I don't know what this does. It's the first time I've seen it. Maybe it made us invulnerable for that amount of time or something. So I would have to speak to the dev and see what that is. But we are going to take the movement speed over here, and it will come in handy a little bit later, and I'll explain why when we get to that part. But for now, everything else, you fire an arrow projectile to your right and another to your left. It does increase their damage. And we've got the multi crit, so I'm actually going to grab that. It might come in handy quite a lot actually, so that's a lot of AoE for the arrows. Really, really good, I think. So we're going to grab that. I wouldn't have grabbed it normally, and maybe that's what my problem is. Alright, there's the crit chance, so that's very, very good. We've got another little mini boss over here, so we're going to turn our auto aim off so that we can focus on him and kill him nicely and quickly. Now every time we kill one of these little mini bosses over here, it actually gives us a chest, and well, not a chest, it gives us like a weird option, like do you want to take this skill for losing this amount of life, or so on and so forth. So we'll show you what that's like when we get there. We can fire a projectile backwards or increase our base damage. We're going to increase base damage. That's going to increase the damage of absolutely everything, our side shots and all of that as well, so it will come in very well. Alright, we did manage to kill this guy. We do not get a level up over there, and he actually didn't give us what I thought it would. So it just gave us a level into our skill, which is perfect. So we got a level 4 umbilical cord cat, or in heat. And if we stand by that cat, you can see it is going to kill absolutely everything around us, which is fantastic. It really, really helps. We're going to re-roll over here, just because there is actually another cat upgrade that I want, but we do get the spiritual shield, which is very, very handy. It means we can take a free hit every 2 minutes, so we are going to grab that one to give us that free hit. Alright, actually the fact that you do have the manual aim option, like to just put on and off as much as you want, we will probably use that. I haven't been using it, and maybe that's what my problem has been. So we're going to try and get that up and running a lot more. Cornered cat, again, I feel like maybe the AoE needs to be a lot more. I do believe there was a game called Horde Hunters. Not I do believe there is a game called Horde Hunters where they have a very similar claw attack, but the claw attack does have a much higher range or area of effect, and there you can hit things that aren't right on top of you. So like maybe where the cat is standing now, the area of effect should go to, so you're at least somewhat safer. Like right now it's like they're going to hit you before you're able to actually get that damage off with the cornered cat skill. But that's just my personal opinion and what I've experienced from games like this before. Alright, so here's the boss. We are going to focus on him as much as possible. We're going to bring him to our umbilical cat, or the cat in heat, just so that, you know, we are able to hit him a lot more with that. extra damage. All damage is good damage, so we are going to do that. I don't see any of the water symbol on their head either, so 15% is really low in this game, it would seem. We have a 15% chance for the bow to deal extra damage, or, you know, apply the water effect, but I don't see it occurring, so I'm not sure what the actual, you know, how it works or how it's going to work. But over here, we don't need more life. I think 4 life is more than enough. We're going to go for the fire rate, improved fire rate. That's going to work. And then over here, increased projectile speed. We could go for the feline vortex. That's going to be pretty decent. And then I do need the small size. We get smaller in size and increase our movement speed. So we get another level in scratch. We get another fish. So this is just another part for production, or, you know, creating weapons. And we'll see how that goes. But now we've got the tornadoes as well, keeping us safe. At least sucking enemies into them, so that we don't have to worry about a huge amount of enemies getting onto us. So we'll see how that goes for us and where it goes, but at least we have killed the first boss and we're on to the next wave. So now you'll start noticing there will be bigger and better XP drops. We did get the final passive we wanted over there, the increased movement speed and decreased size. It does come in handy a lot to be much smaller, because it does decrease your character hitbox. So probably one of my favorite passives to go with crit as well as just plain movement speed. And you'll see why when we get our crit all the way to max level, especially since that is why we wanted it. But there we go, our kitty umbilical cord just got increased attack speed. You can see it is now spinning it with such ferocity and smacking enemies quite hard with it now as well. So a really nice little upgrade. It's nice that it's quite a decent AoE as well, and it deals a whack ton of damage compared to some of the other skills. But apparently the flatulence skill does a lot of damage. In the wording it says deal a lot of damage, so I really got to try it out. Just the sound is rather not off-putting, but like the other sounds are of things, and hearing someone flatulate a lot, or you know, gets kind of tiresome quickly, unfortunately for myself. So it doesn't interest me as a skill either, and it could be a really strong skill, so I really got to give it a go and try and not worry about the sounds. Something I know a lot of you wanted in games like these roguelites and roguelikes is that you would have liked individual sounds for specific things. So like this would be a good example. If we could have an individual sound for that skill, it would make it a lot easier. Also, I know in Deep Rock Galactic you want individual sound modifier for the dwarf, because it is you know, quite tiresome hearing him speak about specific things all the time. And you know, once you've heard it once, it's not like he has that many voice lines, so after hours and hours of playing it, it kind of gets very tiresome. So I do understand that, and that's why a lot of you would love to have like individual sliders, but I don't think it's actually something a lot of people bring up in terms of like suggestions and things for games, besides for maybe on my videos. So maybe we need to voice ourselves a little bit better. Over here, enemy shots are slowed. We don't need that. I'm not losing life for that. And we get an extra projectile on our multi-shot as well now. So that is beautiful over there. Turn our auto attacks back on. Auto aim, sorry. And we now in a better spot, I think. At least I feel like we're much stronger than what we were before. But we do just need to be careful over here. We do have a lot of enemies around us, and I don't have my shield back up until another 50 or so seconds. So we do need to still be careful. I need to find one more skill. Maybe Big Tuna will work. I mean, over there that's huge AoE as well, so maybe Big Tuna is a good one to go for over here. We'll keep it and we'll see where we go from there. It definitely should be helpful, but let's see what occurs. Alright, weapon damage, so that's a max level on that, which is beautiful. Nearly max level on the tornadoes as well, which means that we're going to start getting upgrades of things that we don't have high level of. Hopefully our crit, which we want to get up. which I haven't been seeing any levels on yet. Oh man, we just got our shield back and we got hit. At least it was good timing and we didn't get hurt there, but I mean, shield's doing what it needs to be doing, and that's keeping us alive. So at least it is doing its job, but it's unfortunate that we lost it so soon after receiving it back again. But it is what it is. Okay, I'm trying to get to that fish. There we go. We do get the increased crit chance. The reason I say that we like the movement speed with the crit chance is eventually at the end, the crit chance does get a upgrade saying that it is based off of your movement speed as well. So along with all the crit you get, you do get the movement speed bonus on it as well. So that's why we're looking to grab as much movement speed as possible so that we are able to get that bonus to the crit chance and crit damage. So we'll show you in the stats. You can actually pause the game and everything's there. Our crit rate is only 25% right now. We should be able to get that up to about 55% without a lot of movement speed. And then once we've increased our movement speed, we should be in a very, very good spot. But we'll see how it all gets there. Alright, Umbilical Cat or In Heat is now max level, which is gorgeous. And we are now on wave 11. I think the boss does spawn now as well. So we're going to see, there we go, boss did spawn. And we are now as far as we've been. So hopefully we can finally beat this boss and go from there. We do just need to be careful of everything around us, as you can see. Oh, that didn't lose us alive. Okay, that's awesome. I mean, the boss itself, in terms of what it does, isn't difficult, but because we've got because we have so much around us, I need to be careful, and I wasn't, and we got hit by the one orb. So definitely the furthest we've been, which is fantastic. Let's go increase our base damage over there. That's going to help us kill this guy faster and everything else around us. Just make sure we don't get hit by the orbs. Okay, come on, die. Yes, we did it. Okay, we can increase our crit. That's a pretty good blessing to have. We get a level, so we're going to increase the bubbles by 1, and then we get increased base damage as well as a new shaft for a bow over there. So there we go, we managed to kill the boss there. That is fantastic, and we're on to the next wave. So this is the furthest I've ever been. Money wise, we're actually on a pretty good amount of money as well, but you can see we're starting to get swarmed a whole lot more. So I think the AoE is going to be very important over here with regards to skills. There is also another skill that I really would have wanted. There's also new enemies, which is really, really cool. So let's go and kill everything there. I would want more crit, but we're going to have to get levels for that. So there we go, one more level and we should be on, we're already on 55%, so we can get to 65%, and we'll see, because our movement speed is 19%, we'll see if it goes up by 19% or only 10%, or we'll see how exactly it works. But it is going to be very interesting to see our crit go way up and our crit damage be a lot more. Now, there are other characters that we need to unlock. Those characters are going to make it so we can get higher crit than what we can on this character. But there we go, there's our crit chance. We're now on 65%. Again, it doesn't look like it's increased by our movement speed just yet, but we'll go and increase our movement speed one more time and see if that does work the way that it mentions. Maybe it could be bugged, and we're about to find out. Alright, there is a bear over here. There we go. So now we're gonna increase our movement speed. It went to 29, but the crit rate did not change. So over here it says crit chance scales with movement speed. I don't know how that's working. It did not increase our movement speed. Maybe if you get over 65% movement speed, it increases it even more. But as it is right now, it doesn't seem to do anything for us. So do keep that in mind. Maybe it needs a bit more over there. Okay, we're going to increase base damage. That's because of our multi-shot and losing some of the damage on it. That's just going to help us have a little bit more damage for us. I don't think the fire rate is necessarily necessary, but the fire rate over there is very, very useful. And then we're going to increase the bubbles. That's beautiful. Another bubble. That's doing actually quite a lot of damage as well. So it's going to give us quite a bit of area of effect damage. As long as it's hitting things, we should be in a good spot as well. There we go. Kill everything there with our special ability. I have no idea when the next boss happens or what happens with all of that, but we're going to go and increase our movement speed a bit more, and we are going to just try and stay as healthy as possible. We have already lost more than enough life to this already. Trying to just pick up as much XP along the way as well. We can increase the amount of vortexes there. I didn't even see what the other skill was. I just saw +1 to number. So I was like, yes, get it, more area of effect. The only thing about the vortex, it would be really nice if it dealt even a low amount of damage, but it should be fun. Increase the area of effect of the bubbles. That's fun. That's good. That's just more AoE damage we're getting over there, because they do actually deal quite a lot of damage. So them being able to hit more things is good for us. And now we're just waiting. I think there might only be one more boss. So hopefully there is only one more boss. And hopefully it is only, 20 waves maybe or something like that. But as you can see, each wave now starts to become a minute long. So you do land up getting a lot more experience. I am wondering, once we get everything max level, what happens? Also, a nice thing for games like this, developers, if you're watching this, or even if this is your game that I'm playing and you're watching this, a beautiful thing that people love having in these roguelites, including myself, is evolutions. So if you could make it so specific weapons have specific evolutions, that would be really, really awesome. But over here, we're going to go and increase our base stats. That's beautiful. One more thing that we have fully leveled. So yes, having achievements to unlock other skills, as well as having evolutions in the game, are going to be something really, really cool to have in all of these roguelites and roguelikes. So definitely something to look for, as maybe a future upgrade to the game, or just a future things. Alright, so this boss charges us. That's okay. He's immune to cold, which isn't okay. That means we can't deal the increased damage to him, but what is cool is it does actually say to us that he's immune to cold. Very cool little boss over here. So maybe he is being a king, but maybe it makes him the final boss, but we'll definitely see that. Oop. Not actually a hard boss. We do have quite a bit of breathing room because of all of our skills having quite a lot of area of effect. Quite a tough boss HP wise, but not really difficult in terms of what he does. So really, really nice little boss. Nice that each of the bosses are different in those ways, that they've got their own unique attacks. If you do get hit by him, like I did over there, you are in a bit of danger. He did have a shield over there. I'm not sure how we got rid of the shield, but we did, and we managed to kill the Ice King. So what happens now? Do we keep going? Okay, looks like we do. Right, there we go. I don't know how many waves there are, but this is getting a little bit crazy right now. We on the next 18th wave. Hopefully it's only 20 waves, otherwise, maybe we need a hyper mode. But very similar wave thing to God of Weapons, although I do believe this may have been out before God of Weapons, and I just didn't, you know, play much of it when it did come out. So it is in early access now, or it probably has been for a very long time. I only played the demo, and quite a lot actually changed from there. And some of the things that did change was that as you can see, when we reload, we move the same speed as when we shoot. Now, that was something that wasn't there before. You used to actually move a lot slower when you were moving before, where now you move the same speed, whether you're shooting, reloading, using skills, it doesn't matter. You move the same speed, which wasn't something that happened before in the past. But yeah, that's something that changed. Alright, movement speed, that's quite cool. We're on 64% movement speed. We're not going to get enough to really see if that does change the amount of crit chance that we get, because we did get some crit upgrades over there. So we're going to have to just see what happens. If movement speed, increase movement speed by this, increased by an extra 10% if moving for 5 seconds straight. Effects reset when not moving. So as long as we move in a straight line, we get more movement speed, which then could be good for the crit, but I don't know. Oh, we do get the buff there. You'll see it in the corner as well, where you get the it's over there by the shield regeneration that we've got in the top right. So all the buffs and things like that will be over there. And there we go, kill that. We get a croissant, which probably gives us a boomerang as a weapon, which I haven't really had. So really cool that we landed up getting that as well. So now we can create a boomerang and see what the weapon is like as well. So definitely going to do more videos on some of the other characters as well as the other weapons and see how we go from there. But oh, this says last wave. Nice. Okay, cool. So it does look like there are only 20 waves, which is fantastic, and we're gonna finally finish a run, and we managed to get it on video. So that makes me really happy, except there are a lot of bombing golems, so we need to be really careful. We did get our shield back. It does look like it gives us a slow around us as well, which I haven't seen before, so that's really, really good. Come on, 20 seconds left, we can do this. I do wonder if there's going to be a final boss, or if we already fought the final boss and we just land up getting a complete over here. That I would rather have the final boss on the final wave and we land up getting that than having something like the game just ends on us. So let's see what happens, but I've never done this before, so there we go. Final wave, and we get a completion. So it is a 20-minute time limit, which is actually really nice. It feels really good, but they need to have the final boss fight on the final wave. So now we can go see just how much we've unlocked. We've got those weapons over there. We got the croissant, which is the boomerang, like I mentioned. We did get another fish as well as another bow over here, upgrades. And then we can make like an earth boomerang maybe, or something like that. I don't actually know. But there we go. It doesn't do a lot of damage. They do tell you, boomerang's damage is low, but it does have piercing and a medium fire rate. I don't know how to get the minigun, but I would love to keep trying and to see if we can get the minigun over there. Also, each thing here has a value to it, but I don't know how you can sell things. I don't think selling things is possible. We can not purchase them. We will play more, so we can purchase these guys. Again, better stats than this guy, better fire rate, crit chance and crit damage, so definitely worth going for. And then we've also got Peanut for the sushi time. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe for more videos like this in the future, and always remember, keep safe survivors. Until next time, cheers.